you're listening to the Mackay T Show podcast. Here are your hosts, Ryan Mackay and T Davis.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mackay T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mackay T Show.
Welcome back to the Mackay T Show podcast. Super Bowl 55. Tampa Bay is victorious. The Buccaneers won 31-9 over the Kansas City Chiefs. Tom Brady gets his 7th Super Bowl ring and his 5th Super Bowl MVP award. I would say this. He played well. He looked very composed and controlled, like you were talking about off air, T. I will say this about the game. I thought that the Buccaneers defense should get some sort of award because Levante David and Shaq Barrett and Dominican Sue, they were in Patrick Mahomes' face all night long. Seemed like they controlled the game, and I will be the first to say I quit really truly paying attention to the game like I would be analyzing it. None of that went on after a certain point. I just got to a point where I just watched here and there, but every time I would watch thinking, okay, this is when they're gonna make their run. It never happened. They clamped down on him, and they shut the young gun down. So we're gonna have to see how he responds to this.
So I ain't watching on I watched each team had one possession. I saw the trailer that you told me to watch, and that was the end. I did, and I mean, I don't really know what Mahomes looked like normally, but I was like, he don't look like he is confident. And Brady like, okay, I've been here before, even though they had the 3 and out on that first series. And I was like, well, I'm going to bed.
Kudos to the so-called experts that you hear from all day long on Super Bowl Sunday.
Mhm.
If you are inclined to watch it, you hear them talk about what their keys to the game are, and everybody was saying that the offensive line for Kansas City, it's been hurt by injuries. It's it's not that many. The depth is not good. That they could get tired out and it could be a problem, and it was. Because like I said, Levante Davis, Shaq Barrett, they were in the backfield on every play. It seemed like.
The interesting thing, and I don't know why somebody got to get the praise. Somebody got to. You were saying that oh boy, the young buck didn't play well, but at the end of the day, Brady has been fortunate to just be on good teams. Like, he is no better than his offensive line. I don't care how great you can throw the ball. People not getting open, and the line not blocking. But they'll talk about how the quarterback, he the greatest quarterback, or whoever the greatest. This ain't like basketball where you can kind of take over and be like, what's his name, Harden, and win your team some games pretty much by yourself. People got it.
And I'm glad you said that because I think people get kind of caught up when it comes to Patrick Mahomes because he is the closest thing to a basketball type takeover type player. And he is the closest thing that we have in the NFL to that, where they can basically.
Well, it's a couple of people because what's his name? People fear him because he can run. They didn't make it. Is it the
Lamar
Raiders?
Jackson? Yes.
I don't want to talk about this no more. Who you think? Who was the worst team that's gonna get Goldilocks? I guess if they need a quarterback. Anyway, that's all I'm curious. Who gonna get Goldilocks?
I think it's right now. It's slated to be the Jets.
And then I'm curious.
No, the Jaguars. I'm sorry, Jacksonville.
So Florida, y'all might have the Jaguars. Y'all might have some hope. Now, how they decided on the coach? It was a whole.
Well, your boy Urban, his name,
him
brought up.
So that should be interesting to see him. to
And
see them. I don't know what other pieces they have.
Forgive us if you are listening right now and you know that Jacksonville's already decided on the coach, because clearly we do not. We do not.
Yeah, we missed that.
Um,
We missed all of that. But
yeah, that's all.
I feel like I would know if he was the coach though. Like
Right.
maybe they have one, but I feel like yeah.
And also apologies if you came here for more of a breakdown on the Super Bowl. But
What's the
that's all.
breakdown? It was 31-3.
It's 31-9, and it was.
I meant 9. Might as well have been 3. What?
Give them the extra 6 now. Yeah, that's all I got for them. So, I mean, I know my co-host ain't gonna have no problem with this, but I'm gonna just let her go because she has a few things she'd like to chant and rant about
Yes, I
on
do
the
need
NBA. So I'm just gonna hit the button.
It's chatting and ranting.
Okay, people. National Basketball Association. I don't know what y'all doing. The Players Association and the NBA apparently came together and said, let's have an all-star game. I already don't have issues with players coming in contact with somebody positive, whatever, somebody been positive, whatever. Why you gonna try to bring stars? These not gonna just be regular players. These are all gonna be stars on their teams that could potentially go down here and infect each other or get infected by somebody. Or if they don't, get in quarantine because they came in contact with somebody. You already on the rock walking the tightrope. It don't make no sense to me to have a all-star game. Now some of the players are saying just they didn't feel like they should have it because they're not necessarily talking about the COVID concern that I'm having. They are just like we already wore out. We already only had a month or two for a break.
Mm-hmm.
The season is going pretty like we're doing the traveling again, and now y'all want us to take what would be a couple of days for us to have a break for our bodies and rest. Y'all want us to play a game that means nothing but money in somebody's pocket.
Strictly, just talking about the COVID aspect of you know what I'm trying to say, of it. I think what they should have done this year, while we're still trying to get this vaccine out here, still trying to get things back in order. I think what they should have done, because of how popular this part of the genre is, ESPN, which I know has the rights to the game, it's always on ABC, ESPN. They should have sent cameras out to a bunch of different NBA teams, send a crew out, and have them wire up a NBA Live contest between the All-Star team members.
They don't need to have a game. They don't need to have anything, Brian. Let them rest.
Oh, I understand, but if you because it's all about the money aspect, and they want their TV ratings, and
well, people don't want to see necessarily anything but a game.
I understand.
And are they gonna have the rookie game? They ain't really mentioned this. Well, not rookie, but the sophomore rookie game.
It's called the Rising Stars game, I believe.
Well, whatever. The stars are rising again. Are they gonna have that?
I don't know,
because that first group didn't have one because of COVID, right?
You're right. But I really think that would have been a good idea because those are some of the highest rated shows the ESPN has when they have those esport games when people on there competing on each other.
Yeah, well, call LeBron and let him call a couple of his friends and let them play each other on PS5 or whoever, right. Xbox 20, whatever we at now.
Xbox 20.
and let's just do that then.
I mean, because that's something. It's not a game. It's not them playing in the game, but that would be something that you could put on TV. And you could
how did it go over for the NFL's version of that?
I don't know. Did they even do it yet?
I thought it should have been done. That season over, Brian. The Super Bowl just happened. It should be over.
If they did, I missed it.
Oh Lord. So yeah, that was my random chant, and I was uncomfortable with the number of people that I saw on camera, really close to others, but at the Super Bowl game. But I'm not going. Whatever. I don't think people care about this as much as others. Some people don't care about it as much as others. Cause I don't care if the 49ers had came calling, or even the Lakers, and be like, "Hey, we got tickets, and you can come for free." Thank y'all. I'm gonna just watch it on TV because I'm not finna go in the crowd. I don't care how much you telling me we not next to people. No, thank you.
Lord, they had it on January 31st. I missed it.
Yeah, see, I don't think too many people saw it. I don't know what they can do. They can do an old school marathon of best All-Star games, pull out footage of Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and Isaiah them playing at, what was that, 91 or something,
Oh yeah,
All-Star game.
when Magic went crazy.
Yeah, at the end they had all them threes.
Yeah. No, good and well. He don't
Put out some old Kobe Bryant great MVP performances.
Pull out that one where the Eastern Conference made that big comeback when they had Stephon Marbury and Iverson and that the young crew. I think.
Yeah, they could pull out plenty because a lot of these, Brian, there's a lot of kids out here was born in 2000. How about that? Ain't that hilarious? And then your baby's what 2000? I was born in 2000. And now when they get old, like when we hear people say 1920, you be like, "Good Lord!"
There's a TikTok video going around right now where this person is getting carded, and they're going to pull their wallet, their license out their wallet, and he said, "Oh no, that's fine. You can keep it there. I see the one in front of your age."
Well, hold on. It should be 1999, right? Or well, I guess no, because depending on when you was born in 2000, you won't be 21 yet. We just in January.
They were just making fun of the fact that it's 2021. So
yeah,
21.
It's a lot.
It's yeah.
It's a lot. So that was what I want. I'm disappointed. Not that much, but I am disappointed that I thought the NBA would have more because Atlanta one of the stadiums that want to have fans. That's where LeBron had this whole situation with the crazy fans on the side.
Who, for anyone who doesn't know the whole story, this guy has already openly posted on social media for years that his hate for LeBron, and he's posted pictures of him. This guy's just one of those guys that has money, thinks they can just say and do whatever. And his wife, or whatever she is,
he almost a child molester. Cause he like 60 and she like 25. But that's neither here nor there. Keep going.
but no, LeBron had the perfect response when he said he thought it was a father and a daughter. LeBron wins. Look, checkmate.
Right, because when they told me, because I never could see the person with her, and she was on social media with all the this, that, and she bought this and that, and I was like, Blondie Locks, go sit down.
And just because I know this made you uncomfortable, if you saw the footage, because it made me uncomfortable as well. There wasn't a mask above their mouth.
Oh Lord, no mask.
Yelling at the players in the players' direction.
Mask. Then the people that came down there, they ain't got no mask on. I was just like, y'all, this is horrible. But anyway, Atlanta, one of these places that, and I don't know if they're gonna change that because it's the All-Star game, but that is one of the stadiums that they letting some fans in. And we had Lemon Pepper Lou down there. If Lou, got a reason to go get him some lemon pepper wings from Magic City down there. You get him some wings while you down there. I guess he won't be in trouble for it.
Lemon Pepper Lou, I love it.
So yeah, that's all. I just wanted the NBA to be better, but they not, and so here we are.
Well, in the interest of moving on and being able to hit the button again, let's get into the first top 5 of season 9 for the Mac and T Show.
It's time for the top 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5.
All right.
Well,
So
okay. You hear me?
my top 5, and these are in no particular order, but I do have.
If I want Brian tried to cheat off me, y'all. I want y'all to know that. Go ahead. G tried to cheat off my paper.
so I have a reason for each person, and just so there's
I
no.
hope you got a reason for them, and they randomly put 5 people on there.
So here are
Go
my
ahead.
top 5. I have Chris Pratt, who is Star
Oh, now I
Lord.
gotta start googling.
Star Lord
Who is
on
it?
Guardians of the Galaxy. Star Lord.
Oh Lord.
And
Okay.
the reason I picked him is because he was a Boy Scout in one time of his life, so he probably knows how to build
Oh,
a tent, make a fire, things that you would need.
Brian said keyword. Probably. Go ahead.
There's a whole lot of probably on this list. Okay, my next person, Kevin Costner, because he is an avid fisherman, and we might need some fish to eat
Oh Lord.
for my Boy Scout to cook up. My third is Anthony Anderson, and the reason I have the Blackish Star on my list is because I don't know how long I'm gonna be on this island, and Anthony Anderson is an avid gardener, so he may be able to turn some seeds into something. The
Mm-hmm.
next person, Ken Jeong, the comedian from the Hangover movies, also a
Mm-hmm.
stand-up comedian, and been in a bunch of different TV shows, a bunch of different movies. But he's most famous for his role in Hangover. He is an actual. He used to practice as a doctor before he became full time actor. He was an actual practicing doctor, graduated from Duke and everything. So it's nice to have
Mm-hmm.
somebody like that on hand just in case injuries happen. And my fifth and final is Nick Offerman, the actor who is most famous for his role in Parks and Recreation as Ron Swanson. And I actually have not the people on the audio medium can see this, but I actually have a bobblehead of him somewhere behind me. He is a handyman, a woodworking guru who actually has a couple of TV shows. I don't know if they're still on the air, but at one time, I believe like HGTV or some station like that had him on. It's like showing off his skills. So he could actually help us fashion maybe a boat to get us off this thing, get us back home. So that is my top 5. I'm stuck on this island, but I'm trying to get off of it. Trying to get myself back home.
Brian, what? I said, Brian, everybody, Brian said, are we just on this island? I was like, well, to get off. I don't know what you're doing. I'm not trying to stay on an island on Gilligan's Island.
So I had to ask these questions because I wanted to be on the same page. Because my mindset originally for the top 5 was something else, and I didn't want to let that slide into my peripheral, into my vision while I was making my picks. So let's hear your top 5 there.
Well, Brian, I don't know if y'all gonna make it, but I know I'm gonna survive. Cause you know what I did? I made people that do this for a living, a couple people. I
Okay.
got this guy named Cody London,
Oh,
Lundin.
okay.
Cody London, he is a guy that's on Dual Survivor. And I don't know how I got caught watching Dual Survivor, but they reenact scenarios. It's usually him and either this guy that's a Navy SEAL or it's another guy that's a Marine. It's like 3 other. They put them in situations that have happened to people in real life, and they actually drop them off in the middle of nowhere and be like, "All right, how would you survive if this is all you had?" And Cody, Cody is a different kind of dude. He be walking around like he a hobbit. Normally he don't have shoes on. Now when they be in cold, like snow place, he'll put some shoes on. But anyway, Cody can start a fire out of God knows anything. Like I don't see him start fires, and usually wherever they wind up, they need like a fire, whether it's gonna be to cook or whether it's keep them warm when they're cold. So I had to
Right.
get Cody, and he got a plethora of knowledge on like what to eat, what not to eat. You can do this, you can do that, direction, all of that. But just in case Cody, not enough, I went and got Bear Grill, Man versus Nature. Cause if I don't be stuck out here, yeah, I need to be able to survive, and I need and one of the other things Cody is good at, like they be making these little something where they can start a fire real quick or whatever. If they a plane coming over, they have it already. So him and Bear Grill, I hope I'm saying his name right.
You
I
are.
think so. I gotta have them on the team. Like I can't be out here if these are my best two chances for survival. Then I had to get Will Smith because I need somebody to keep it light, keep it fun, and he's adventurous. And so we're gonna have some fun while we stuck out here worried about like how we gonna get off of this island. Um, and to keep on with the fun because we just gonna be having a blast. I got Jamie Foxx. Now I hope they got some other skills, but I suspect that they can do something besides tell jokes. But that's gonna keep us. That's gonna help us go a long way.
That's gonna keep your spirits alive.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna keep our spirits alive. Bear Grill and Cody gonna keep me gonna get us off this island and keep us safe until such time as wherever we are, if it's hopefully it ain't cold, but if it is, I know my guy Cody can start us a fire. And he made this really cool little he be making tents and stuff out of God knows any kind of wood and trees and leaves. And I'd be like, how did you what? Why do you know this stuff? But anyway, and my last one was very difficult because I kept saying, "Well, I want to, as a woman, want to be stuck out here with all these men." But I was like, "Whatever." Um, I'm cheating, but I don't know if have you ever seen a show called Projects?
I've heard of. I've never
It's
seen
two
that.
brothers. They from Canada. They be making all kinds of stuff. I'm bringing them to, and they just because they go together. I'm bringing the Projects brothers. So actually, we got 6.
Hmm. Yes. Well, hey,
Cause they be making all kinds of crazy stuff too.
they
Like,
do. Yeah, I haven't actually. I've seen just pieces of their show, but yeah, I know them. I know Bear Grylls is very good. I didn't know Cody London, but I'm gonna look him up after we get off
so
air.
we gonna survive, Brian. If we stuck for some substantial amount of time, I ain't worried about it. Cause he be knowing like you can eat that, these plants right here, you can do that, you can boil that. Yeah. And
Well,
Barry, he got them skills. We don't see him in all kinds of stuff on Barry, Man versus Nature.
yeah,
So I feel good about my team.
yeah,
Um,
you gonna be okay.
I had some extras. I thought you was gonna have some extras, but I have some extras. I considered Angelina Jolie because I looked her up and I was like, she a master knife thrower. I don't know why we gonna be throwing knives.
Oh, so she the real Laura Croft.
Yeah, and I was like, well, and then I said, oh, Gina Davis, she's a professional archer. Wait a minute, she could probably be on the team.
Who
And
knew?
then like Regina King, I started to bring her along, so I wasn't the only girl in the group. But at this point, I'm
Boy,
just trying to survive and get off this thing, and I expect these guys are gonna take care of me.
yes, I think you're gonna be in good hands. I picked mine just purely off of all of these people that can entertain, plus they know they have these skills. So I was like, okay, well, if I gotta be here, I might as well be entertained. And like, all these guys, I mean, Kevin Costner is not necessarily a comedian, but the rest of these are all comedians that would all be hilarious to me. Um, Plus, they all have these certain set of skills. I almost brought Liam Neeson along, just in case we needed to, take somebody out.
Well, if you seen Liam run in the last movie, y'all be in trouble. I know my guys. Again, they athletic. They know how to survive out in the wilderness, and
Whew.
Will be down for a lot. And another thing, I know people gonna be looking for Will Smith and Jamie Foxx if they go miss. People gonna be looking for your people too. So That's good about that. Nobody gonna be like, "What? Well, he probably out." Like, cause Cody and Barry, they might be like, "Oh, they out in the middle, doing God knows what." People definitely gonna be like, "Wait a minute, Will Smith and Jamie Foxx missing. Something ain't
And
right."
somebody come get him, because if not, Jada get herself in another entanglement.
Lord, I hope not. I hope she learned her lesson from the entanglement situation. That's what my prayer for her is. So yeah, nice list.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I can't believe you didn't get Bear. I thought you would get Bear though. I
He
thought you would
he
pick
was
him.
on there, but in my spirit, I'm gonna be completely 100% honest with you. I knew you were gonna pick him.
That don't matter. You
I had
trying to
a
survive
feeling.
on your island.
I
That do
had a
not
feeling.
matter.
I
You got
had
to
a
make
feeling.
choices about survival.
I
You
know,
messing up.
but I had a feeling because I know my co-host. I had a feeling, and yes, you proved me right. That's why I reacted the way I did. Oh yes, that was nice. We hadn't had a top five in a minute. I've been missing the top five. I thought I'd come with one, but now it is time for our review of episode 5 of WandaVision. On a very special episode is the title. And what I would do, because people, first of all, I got a lot of good reviews on my Chef's Kisses. Thank you
Oh
for that.
Lord.
But what I want to do is just break this down into scenes, and we can basically talk about each scene, I guess, as we go along. First scene, we open inside the hex. Since my co-host doesn't like me calling it the Scubble
I
Wubble,
told you could call it the wobble.
we'll call it the hex because that's what Darcy calls it, starting on this episode. So,
A
well,
hex. I don't remember that, but you
she
don't
refers
watched it like 10 times, so go ahead.
she refers to it as the hex because of the hexagonal shapes, and then Monica actually refers to it as the hex later on, and she said, "Aha, you called it the hex." I just love Darcy Lewis. I'm sorry. Cat Dennings is hilarious to me.
Two broke girls.
Yes. So we open inside the hex with the babies crying while Wanda and Vision try to calm them down. Wanda sends Vision to get their pacifiers while she tries to use magic to calm the little ones and fails. Agnes pops in to take over soothing the babies. Vision kind of freaks out about it, about her cleanliness and some other things, and it causes the disruption in what is obviously a TV action. And Agnes kind of looks at Wanda and is like, you want to take it from the top? Vision is continually questioning things. He's questioning Wanda about, Agnes' involvement, this, that, and the other. He's starting to kind of, the gears are turning, and the gum is not in him anymore. So he's wondering about things. Agnes is seen spraying what she calls lavender on the kids, and then immediately starts searching for some dark liquor, as she calls it. Babies magically turn to 5-year-olds. So we go into the opening credits from there, where we see hilarious pictures of Vision as a baby, and the kids. The kids are blowing out candles 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The twins, hilarious. We get a bunch of Family Ties, Full House vibes, all 1980s. Some of the lines that I noticed from the lyrics of the opening credits: "We're making this up as we go along, and love is all we have." So I'm thinking, obviously that has something to do with the show. What do you think about Agnes at this point?
Well, I don't know because Agnes, when, like I said in one of those little, I don't know, they're not commercials. I guess they are commercials. When Vision touch her head and wake her up from her stupor, the spell that they're all under,
Oh yeah, in
she
the trailer,
asks,
yes.
she say, "Am I dead?" So I
Mhm.
don't know who she is, but
Yeah, we get a lot more of her in this episode than we've been, and she's kind of honestly living up to her portrayal as a nosy neighbor because she keeps popping in, as we'll see.
in the classic neighbor that walks in the house and don't
Yeah, just
knock.
pops on in there.
The Okay, I ain't gonna go down the list. But you see that on like Three's Company. You see that on Good Times. Walona just walk in the house.
Yes.
Quite often in those old ones, people just walk in. You'd be like, bruh. Go ahead.
No respect. We switch to Outside the Hex, where Monica is being examined after her travel through the bubble, the wubble. Her X-rays are coming back. What they think is showing basically a broken machine, but um, if for anyone who's listening that knows anything about the comics, Monica Rambeau's powers that she obtains in the comics have her absorbing energy, absorbing light, and she can travel at the speed of light. So, what we saw on this episode is what we presume to be a broken x ray machine could honestly be just her absorbing light because you can still kind of see the outline of her back in the x ray if you examine it closely, and it's just basically a whole bunch of light. So, she could have her powers, she just don't know it yet. Director Hayward shows video of Wanda breaking in the sword and stealing Vision's body, which supposedly happened 9 days prior to this. Why is he just now showing this? Did he know this at the time and send Monica into that missing person case, hoping something would happen to her?
Well, let's take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
First, Wanda, not Wanda, Geraldine, named Monica. Monica, shoot, I don't know what to call her. Monica, when she come out of the thing, they scanning her brain or whatever.
Right.
It's blank. And she wants to go back into the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And they like, really, you want to go back in? So then she pleading her case with this dude that we don't think no good, the director. And that's when he all of a sudden talking about, look how she done stole the
Right.
body and
Right.
did all this other stuff. And Vision had a wheel. I was so done, Brian.
Yes,
He
when he
said
started
Vision
talking about
had a
that living
wheel.
wheel.
He had a living wheel. I was so done. It's like, this dude ain't worth 2 dead flies. Go ahead. So she wanted to go back in, and he was saying, I said go ahead, and then I kept talking. Ain't that hilarious? But I think these parts are important because she as in Monica was like, no, I don't think that Wanda is bad, and he was like, yes, he was trying to prove his point, his position that Wanda is bad.
Right.
So go ahead. And maybe you were gonna talk about that, and I don't jump the gun. Sorry.
You got it. So that's all right. We just keep rolling from there because y'all notice how T pulled a Mr. Brown. I said self. Myself said and she kept right on going. Uh, oh goodness. So back inside the hex, the twins have brought home a dog. Agnes again pops up with a doghouse. Interesting. How does she happen to know these things? How is she, just automatically there with and these are questions that Vision begins to ask. And like I was telling T as I was examining the show, Vision and the twins seem to be asking the questions that we're all asking, and it's throwing it's throwing Wanda for a loop. Um, Agnes sure does seem more than just a nosy neighbor. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Well, and also, but you to add to that,
Mm-hmm.
Wanda is really careless. Is I don't have a better word around Agnes now
Very
because she's
carefree.
been doing
Yes.
doing little like little what's the witch lady when she twinkle her nose and do something?
Oh yeah, bewitched.
Yeah, she doing kind of bewitched stuff and fixing stuff right in front of Agnes without caring. And Vision was like, "Hey, like, what you doing?"
Right.
Because when she bust in the house the first time, Vision was Vision, and he had to throw a pillow in front of his face so he
Right.
could change into his human look.
Human form. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she being real loose with how she is letting Agnes see her do some of this magic kind of stuff
And
or
she even
witchery
tells
or
Vision
whatever.
when he asks her about that because she makes a dog collar right there in front of her, and she even tells Vision, it's okay. She
Right.
didn't notice when the boys aged up 5 years, and then hilariously, right after that, Vision and Wanda tell the boys that, hey, y'all need to be at least 10 before y'all can uh, take care of a dog. And what do? They just
It was
age.
like, no, 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 no.
Right. They age right on up to the age of 10. So hey, all
Soap
right,
opera aging. I told you that was gonna be a part of it. They'll be 30 by the time it's over. Go ahead.
yeah, they're gonna be grown. Uh, we
Teenagers.
we go back outside the Hex, and Darcy finally gets her coffee.
Finally, Woo
Because
came through.
yes, her, Jimmy Woo, and Monica, and I'd like to call them the trio at this point, continue to look at theories and ways to re-enter the Hex. There's discussion about what happened during Endgame, and it almost seemed like they watched the movie like we did because they knew way too many details for not having been there. And that's been a problem I've noticed with all these YouTube people who are dissecting the show. They all kind of are questioning why that is. For me, I think it was just the writer's way of getting to that point where Jimmy Woo brings up how Captain Marvel could have possibly defeated Thanos by herself just as easily as Wanda could have, because Monica talks about Wanda almost beat him by herself, and Jimmy Woo brings up Captain Marvel, which Monica kind of dismisses, basically like we're not talking about her, and she kind of gives a vibe
She
like,
ain't just
"Look,
dismissed. She had that look on her face
yeah,
like,
she ain't
I don't
really."
even want to hear that woman's name.
She felt some type of way about
So
Carol.
something don't happen in that relationship.
So I wonder what it could be. My first
Yeah.
thought, like I told you, was could it be that maybe she found out that Carol Danvers didn't come and help her mother when her mother got sick again, or wasn't there for her mom. I can't wait to
Yeah.
find
She
out what
must
that
she
is.
salty about something. She feeling some kind of way.
Oh,
That look said it all. All
yes.
right.
Tiana Paris is chef's kiss. She's doing so well on
Yeah,
this
she
role.
has been done well in this.
Uh,
What else show she been on?
she was on Survivor's Remorse. The show was on. It was
Yeah, when
LeBron's.
LeBron little
Yeah,
thing with the basketball player. Yeah. Okay. Go
yes.
ahead.
The trio examined Monica's gear and that she was thrown out the hex in the '70s gear, and realized that it is made from the same material as her bulletproof vest that she initially went in with. So, excuse me. Back in the hex, Vision and Norm are having a conversation at work as they set up the computers with the internet when an email arrives from Sword. And multiple co-workers begin reciting the email almost like a chant, and Vision gets suspicious of that. He uses his power to zap the computer clear, and then he would zap Norm out of his trance, and where he finds that Norm is scared to death. He's asking all kind of questions. He needs a phone. He needs to call his sister because his dad is sick. Begins freaking out, telling Vision, you have to stop her. He never says who her is, but he just, she's in my head. You gotta stop her. She's, like he just seems like he's in so much pain. So yeah, do we think that her is Wanda? Do we think that her is Agnes? Where is Dottie? We ain't seen Dottie this episode. Nothing.
And Dottie been suspicious. And cause she the only one that was like, yeah, early on that kids, which you gonna bring up something about the kids, but when they did the stage play for the fundraiser for the kids,
For the children,
when she was helping her clean up after they had their little committee meeting before the thing,
right?
she was kind of challenging her. That's when Wu came on the radio and kind of distracted it all. But Dottie, I think, is an important person that we kind of just been ignoring.
Yeah. Well, oh, and I forgot to say, Vision snaps Norm back into the trance. Just because I think this is freaking Vision out, just like it's freaking all of us out watching. So, at home, Wanda.
Well, to tell the people one more little thing. One of the reasons the email said whatever was because they knew from what Brian was talking about
Mhm.
the clothing. So anything that go in the bubble transforms to the time period or whatever.
Right.
And so when I don't know why they shot her clothes, but they realized her clothes became Kevlar when her little wardrobe changed when she went in the bubble, and so then they was sitting around, and Dorsey was like, "Well, I know how we can get in because they still want to go in, and obviously the director didn't want old girl to go in."
Right.
And one of the ways wasn't that through the email? Wasn't that
I
Ro?
always I
Oh,
took
was
it
that
as
something
that.
else?
I knew that also they did the 1980s style drone they sent in there,
Right.
but I
Oh,
also
so I
did.
thought they went in through the email too, but maybe I just missed
I took
that.
it as both. I did. I did. I'm like you. I took it as both. They did both.
Okay.
So at
Yep.
home,
Are we getting to the drone yet? Cause I'm mad about that. Go ahead. I'm
we're
sorry.
hit.
Go ahead.
We're coming up to that now.
Okay.
So we're back at home inside the Hex, and Wanda and the twins play with Sparky. The kids get suspicious as to why Vision is at work on a Saturday. Wanda tries to tell them it's Monday. They tell them it was just Saturday this morning. So yeah, Wanda's starting to lose control a little bit. Now she's been slowly here and there, but she's starting to kind of bounce around control. And people are starting to question things, and she's wondering why they're questioning. Because in her mind, I think she really thinks she's in control. But for me, I think somebody is controlling her.
I don't
Vision,
think so.
Vision, and the children. Oh yeah, I just said that they're starting to question things. So Monica flies a 1980s.
No, 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 no. No. Don't miss the kids and the dog. What happened with the dog?
Oh, that's coming up. That hadn't happened
That
yet.
hadn't happened yet.
That happens when she goes back inside.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So here we go. 1980s drone is flown in by Monica, confronts Wanda on the outside. Wanda and the kids go to investigate. Wanda's eyes glow red, and the director Hayward takes Monica's control. See, this I didn't notice this until a couple of other viewings. He takes the controls away from Monica, and gives the controls to another agent, and orders that agent to fire at Wanda. So they fire a shot at Wanda. All of a sudden, a breach happens, and they all run outside to see who's breached the hex. And who is it? Wanda herself, armed with all her powers. She slings the drone back at the sword agents. There's a big standoff where it's obviously seems like Wanda and the director know each other, because she pretty much she calls him director at one point, and she directs a lot of her comments towards him, and she even turns all the guns. She takes control of the agents and turns all the guns onto the director. Um, she basically warns him to leave her alone. She has all that she wants, and no one will ever take that from her again. As she glares at Director Hayward when she says that. So from there, we get a commercial for Lagos paper towels, and Lagos is a callback to Captain America: Civil War, where Wanda tossed crossbones through that building and killed all those people by accident. And one of the lines in the commercial is Lagos for when you make an accident, for when you make a mess by accident, or make a mess you don't mean to, which I thought was pretty funny.
Well, going back though again, because it's important that they are. I mean, they probably watching it, so I don't know how
Yeah.
important. I think it's important though that besides the director just saying, shooter, Monica is trying to talk some sense into
Mm.
being sweet. I mean, like, look, if something wrong, if something going on, we can help you. Like and that's the same thing that happened when she comes out of the hex or whatever y'all calling it, the
Yeah.
bubble. She is like, hey, we can help you. And then here the director go and tell them to draw down on her. Then all of them put their laser pointers on
Hmm.
Wanda. And I'm like, bro, do you know who this is? Like, what are you trying to get all y'all killed right now?
You see that
Anyway,
drone didn't work.
right. Because
uh,
you told them to fire it, so it clearly didn't work.
right.
And
Yeah.
you said she had on that suit from when she was Well, the
Yes,
clothes she had on.
it was the suit that she had on in Endgame in Infinity Wars, the one that she was in the battles with. So yeah,
Cause
she
she
definitely
wasn't in no 1980s or whatever year they in 70s clothes. She was in like, I'm not playing with y'all.
she
Leave me
had that
alone.
suit on, and she had her hair straightened, and the third thing was her accent was back.
Yeah, she wasn't playing with y'all.
Uh, we go back inside the hex after Wanda basically, it almost turns it into like she's making the hex more angry. So now it's a red color all around the hex. So we go back inside, and Sparky has gone missing. When he is found, they come up on Agnes's house. Agnes has him wrapped up in a blanket, and she lets him know that he's died. He's ate something in her bushes and wound up, basically killing himself.
But what did that man say that I thought was important?
The mailman, when they were looking for him, he asked, "What's wrong, boys?" And the twins say that they're looking for their dog, and he said, "Don't worry, your mom won't let him get far."
Exactly. I was like, what? Oh Lord, that's right. She in
And
control. Go ahead.
so when Agnes comes up, talks about the dog being dead and how he died, I want to know, wonder maybe did she kill him? Because I still think she's had something to do with what's going on with Wanda. I know in the trailer she gets that back into existence with Vision and all that, but I still think she is involved with whatever is controlling Wanda, and that's just my theory. And I'm gonna be with that
All
theory.
right with your theory. I'm more concerned with Dottie. It ain't the ones that you looking at, ha ha ha. It's the
And she
ones that you
still is the
don't be
only
looking
one
at.
because we finally do get a glimpse real quickly, and it's almost a blink if you miss it type deal. But the mailman has his name up on the board, and his license and everything, so he is a resident of Westview as well. So
We ain't seen Dottie on that board.
no, we still ain't seen Dottie.
Dottie is the one, according to Agnes, you need to know
The
to
devil
get
is
to
in
know
detail.
around there.
Yes. So we go back home. Wanda and Vision are cleaning up, and they begin to talk about things. Vision confronts her about the stuff he found out with Norm. It turns into a little bit of an argument, and Wanda tries to shut the argument down by rolling credits.
Right.
Then from there, it becomes a full blown argument, and they go at each other. They actually get up in the air at one point. Look like they're fixing to go to blows.
He
They
already done
calm
got beat up by her. I don't know what. Go ahead.
Oh no, he's fine. So they calm themselves down. Doorbell rings. Wanda tells Vision. Wanda even mentions to Vision at one point she don't even know how all this got started. She's like, "You think I'm in control? I don't even know how all this got started. I'm here just like you are." And she said, when the doorbell rings, she looks at him. She said, "I didn't do that." So she claiming she has nothing, nothing going on at this point. So
Now I
she,
know you watched it again because I don't know. I didn't watch it but once, and I didn't even listen to the people this time. I was like, I'm gonna just go off of what we don't got far enough that I can just make some assumptions.
right.
I thought she was saying she was because you remember what did she say then when she was saying something about having people to go to school? Because he asked about the kids.
Yeah,
Why
she
ain't
said,
no
"What do you
kids
think?
around here?
What do you think? I got people. I'm taking people to work, getting them to their dentist appointments, and walking their dogs and all that."
Yes, that's what I think, Wanda, and I think that's why y'all ain't got no kids. Like he said, what are children?
Yeah, why is there no children in Westview?
And you don't had a whole for the kids. That whole
Yes,
talent show was for the kids that don't exist. But then she say, "Yeah, I didn't have nothing to do with him coming, the person coming to the door or the
right.
doorbell ringing."
So the doorbell rings. She goes to answer it, and it's Quicksilver, but and it's not the Quicksilver that we know from the MCU. It's the Quicksilver from the Fox's X-Men movies, played by Evan Peters.
Yes,
And
from the
yeah,
first. Um,
from
I
Days of
can't even
Future Past and
can't
I think
remember
it
the
was one
name
of,
of it.
right.
Yeah.
So he was in a couple of X Men movies. So
He the one that saved Magneto, and they get Magneto out of jail when they go back into.
Right, which is, obviously in the comics and in the X-Men movies, Magneto is their father.
He like,
So,
hey sister, hey girl.
right. So,
And
yeah,
she even shocked. So this is gonna be suspicious. Like she's shocked. Now mind, I told you she got dissociative identity
right.
disorder. The good in her and the bad in her are fighting, and she is slowly losing control. I don't know if the
Shout out
good or the bad gonna win.
to E-Man, E-Man's movie reviews on YouTube. If you want to check that channel out for anyone listening that would like to know more, he's very good. And
Hmm.
he actually says a lot of the same things that T has been saying about, identity disorders and this and the other was going on with Wanda. So he's a very good source for people that want to dive into this further. He does a really good job of diving into things. And
Because I just really think she is in a bad space because she don't have. And I went back and took a peek into because I just can't watch Endgame again. I just can't. I ain't got 3 hours of my life that I even want to even try it. But I did look at the end because I was like, how did she respond at the end? And she's standing there with Hawk, whatever,
yeah, and she
and
seemed calm.
and but she seems super sad.
Oh
She's
yeah, yeah.
super sad. He's sad because his girl,
Widow, yeah, Black Widow.
Romanoff's gone,
Yeah,
and he said somebody he wished that whatever, and then she look at him, she's like she knows, and then basically like that, Vision knows too.
right.
How did they miss them? And I think she just don't went into a bad headspace, and with all that power, is about to get out of control. Cause we see she don't win and got. Cause like I'm going to get this body and I'm gonna create my perfect life. And I
And
told you I think it's in the 70s because I don't know when they was born, but when they were born, that probably was a good space and time for her. And so, um, she just went back to that.
honestly, and going along with that, I think if I'm proven wrong, and there's not somebody in charge of Wanda,
Hmm.
the reason that you could say she was upset with the director and Sword is because when she broke into that facility, Vision's body was in about 15 pieces.
Yeah, they had cut him up.
Yeah, they were examining
Or
the mess out
something was
there.
cut up. Like it wasn't like a whole body like laying anywhere.
Right.
Um, And so, and okay, so when you read stuff, sometimes you be thinking like, "Oh, this happened in chronological order." I don't think she just went straight into trying to get Vision body. I think she was trying to manage it, and he been looking for her. We do know that because why do you have footage of her breaking
Mm.
into this facility if you haven't kind of been following her?
And he said he just got permission to share this. Why does he need permission? He is a
Have
director.
several seats. Hmm.
Is
Exactly.
there, is there a board of directors? I mean, what?
Right. When the ones that Samuel L. Jackson was talking to. You remember them people was just
Yes,
came up on the screen?
who three of them wound up being Hydra at one point.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
is it a group? And I also find it interesting that Wu is an FBI agent, has just been led into this space with no questions asked because we don't see no all too many TV shows and stuff will be like this above your pay level or this is
right.
not confidential. What is it? Not confidential. What's the word they be using?
The jurisdiction,
No,
uh,
no, no. When they say you can't see it, even like if I'm in the military, I can only see so much because I don't have security level clearance.
classified.
Yeah,
Yeah,
classified. This
yeah.
classified, and Wu knowing everything. He got all the classified information just to be looking for a missing person.
Yeah, they doing way too much together that just normally would not be done. Because that's what
No,
usually takes investigation so long. Is all this jurisdiction bureaucracy.
and they just letting Wu walk around and talk to Darcy. Even when Darcy was in the back of that car,
Right.
she was like, "We not supposed to talk about each other, Boy Scout. I mean, talk to each other." So they don't told them not to talk to each other. So I find that interesting. It may not mean anything at all, but
I'm glad you said that because that made me think of something else that I forgot to talk about. When Monica was with the trio of her and Wu and Darcy, and she says she thinks she might have someone that can. She has an astrophysicist or astro engineer that can help them out, and she starts to text someone. There's a lot of theories that could be Reed Richards, who is of the Fantastic Four.
Right. Yeah, he is that super smart brainiac.
Yes. So, if not him, then it could be Riri Williams, who has down the line coming out. There has a Disney Plus show in the future, and she is Ironheart, who basically gets a hold of an Iron Man suit and builds a whole bunch of suits herself. So she's like the same kind of intellect as Tony Stark.
Well, they as in the YouTube verse or whatever been talking about they thinking that the Fantastic Four is gonna be Barbara, so it would make sense for him to be the person she contact.
Yeah,
I still think who you think is Bart and Betty? What's the Vision real government name?
Oh, Paul Bettany.
Bettany said it was somebody he hadn't acted with.
You see, and a lot of people.
I still think it's Doctor Strange.
I do too. My only other just tossing it out there type deal because of what they did with this episode and brought Evan Peters in. I'm thinking maybe it could be the Magneto from the Fox universe.
Bring Magneto back, bad is gonna come worse.
Well, I mean, and I'm talking about the original Magneto because Paul Bettany talked about this guy was a huge, play actor and a legend in the play game. And
I don't care what Magneto it is, it's gonna be worse. Magneto ain't up to no good. None whatsoever. And who knows how she feel about him?
He might play nice for a minute, but he always got an ulterior motive.
Because in the cartoon one that I watched of the X-Men, when he come back in, she don't like him at all.
No.
And I don't know if you've seen that cartoon, X-Men cartoon.
I know what you're talking about.
When they get down to the part where they fighting the guy that's got all these powers that don't pull these powers together, and she does not like her daddy. And I don't know if he ran off or what the situation was. So bringing her, that's gonna be awful. Well, I guess one of the reasons I think is Doctor Strange because they was in that one clip, the not commercials, whatever they call these things, they little trailers, little mini trailers they show us. Vision is all in and like let's fight for whatever, and it's about to be a fight. And I don't know the outside team ain't gonna win if they just fighting without somebody big. I don't know that Doctor Strange gonna be that much help, but he might can do something.
Well, and as we've already learned through the media and through YouTube and all that, the WandaVision is going to lead into Doctor Strange, in which the new Doctor Strange movie, and which leads into the next Spider-Man movie. So they're all going to play a part with each other. And
well, that would be cool because then you could go with Doctor Strange come and ruin Westview world that she had that she thinking is perfect, and so now she gonna be out for vengeance because a lot of people think she gonna be a bad person in that, and that would be a easy tie-in. But if I thought of it, that mean that MCU is gonna go a whole different route. But go ahead.
Well, that's all I have from that episode. I'm looking forward to Friday because now it has become a ritual.
Well, it should be interesting. I don't know if this meant anything, but I've noticed that when Wanda, the Wanda that we know, that's not fighting against her good and bad self, people are not under that spell for these split seconds.
Right.
Like that's when the black man, I don't know what his character name is.
Herb.
When Herb was like about to tell, and then Agnes was like shaking out his head like no. But then she went back into character, and then when Vision go out there, they all back in the hush hush, and she was out of character because Geraldine had asked her about
Yep.
Ultron.
She threw Wanda had Wanda all in a loop.
Yeah, so. Wanda was all discombobulated, and people had some control over themselves. So that's gonna probably happen some more. Cause she losing it slowly but surely. She is losing it. Cause she did not mean to bring her brother back. Unless somebody put him in the bubble, she did not mean for that to happen. So she's losing it.
And if you know what we think about Doctor Strange, maybe it was Doctor Strange that sent this guy from another universe. You know, maybe that's maybe the multiverse has been popped, and he sent this guy in there because he knows if he shows up right now, it's just gonna cause more problems because she don't know who he is. But
I just know if her daddy show up, I don't think it's gonna be good for nobody. I just know that if Magneto show up, and they might make it messy like that, that it's just not gonna be good. Cause Magneto is not up to any good.
Oh, indeed. Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about before we?
No, I think this is good. I have shied away from listening to all the, cause I was just like, I just want to enjoy it and just think that at this point, now that I got my, you had your training wheels on the first couple episodes, cause I ain't know enough about.
Well, now we got enough information that we can.
Yeah, and so I just make my own conclusions, and sometimes I take a peek at some of them videos. You look at the first few things, and then they'll start going somewhere. I'll be like, nope, I don't even want to go here. I'ma just think whatever, and maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. It's all gonna be interesting to see, because I really don't care that much whether I'm right or wrong. It's been an enjoyable ride,
right?
So it should be fun. The next, because it's got to get realer. It's gonna get realer.
Yes, it is. It will be realer.
Cause she done left out of that bubble and threatened them.
Man, she come slap out of there.
And now her brother done showed up randomly. I think I got a feeling this is gonna be Halloween.
The next one, I saw a picture on IMDb page, and it is gonna be the Halloween episode.
I had a feeling Halloween was coming, and I'm interested to see who her kids dress up as, since that should be we know those two characters from the cartoon world anyway. Yeah. So that should be interesting to see how they dress up. Because I told you that suit Vision has on is a suit that is worn by a character in the comic book world. And I was like, that's the suit.
That's the Vision suit from the comic books.
Oh, so haha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The green and whatever, the green and the purple.
That green and yellow.
Mm-hmm. Yellow, yeah.
So that should be interesting. And I just want to give one more shout out. Thank you for making it a little longer. It went by really fast.
Yes, it was great.
I just hope maybe the last one is like 40 minutes or 45 minutes. So they can put a nice little bow on it like they did with episode 4 when they opened everything up to us.
Oh, yeah. Well, as always, I am one of your hosts, Brian Mackay, and I am with
T. We heart WandaVision Davis.
And this has been the Mac and T Show podcast. Thank you for listening.
This is the Mac and T Show. This is the Mac and T Show. We talk movies and TV shows, sports and world news, coasting like on a world cruise. Hosted by Brian Mackay and T Davis. Yeah. You can't tame us. We're going to the top, we're becoming famous.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mac and T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mac and T Show.